Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be sharing some quick-fire quotes on Inspector Goole. But first let's remind ourselves of this important character across the play and Inspector calls. So, Inspector Goole arrives at the dinner party celebrating the engagement of Gerald Croft to Sheila Burling and informs each of the characters that Eva Smith, a poor woman, has committed suicide by drinking bleach. Goole finds out who is to blame, one person and one line of inquiry at a time. Inspector Goole is a figure of authority across the play and also the voice of reason. Inspector Goole, just like J.B. Priestley, the playwright, is a socialist. Inspector Goole believes we are all responsible for each other. Equally, Inspector Goole's name is similar to ghoul, meaning ghost. Our first quote comes from Act 1, with Inspector Goole talking to Mr. Burling. Priestley tells us, he says dryly, "I don't play golf." Priestley heightens the inspector's integrity here. The adverb dryly implies he is above bribery and that he doesn't need to be chained down by the constraints of what those more wealthy around him might expect him to do by accepting bribes. Golf as a game is also a deeper symbol here. It's the symbol of the wealthy who play sport, and also of an old boy network that are entitled and mix business with pleasure and trying to run deals so that they support each other. This is a response as well to Mr. Burling, who's actually tried at this point to blackmail the inspector, but Goole does not entertain the idea at all. Instead, he's actually very reluctant to engage in the conversation, hence this short quote that slams the brakes on Mr. Burling's ambitions. Priestley here connects the audience from the start with Goole as the voice of reason, and also someone who's far superior to the ducking and diving that Mr. Burling accepts. In Act 2, we hear Inspector Goole say, quite tongue-in-cheek now, "Make an example of the young man, eh?" This is directly to Mrs. Burling in light of the fact that Mrs. Burling thinks whoever impregnated this Eva Smith, Daisy Renton woman needs to be done with. Here, Goole uses the exact words that Mrs. Burling mentioned earlier to discuss, well, what she doesn't realise yet, a moment of dramatic irony, that it is in fact her son that got Daisy, or whoever we want to call her, Eva, pregnant. The fact he echoes the language of make an example, it echoes the brutal attitude that the older generation definitely have towards others, be they the vulnerable, or in this case, the younger generation who got it wrong. Priestley loves to use dramatic irony for these moments to emphasise the hypocrisy of the older generation, but Goole does this almost as his mouthpiece, and does it very skillfully through the rhetoric of echoing. Our third quote is simply, "There are millions and millions and millions of Eva Smiths and John Smiths left with us." The repetition of millions heightens to the audience that the vulnerable should not be ignored. It's almost a plea from the playwright that we should learn something from the moral message within the play. But the inspector's speaking directly to characters who seem very distant from the everyman. The fact that he refers to Eva Smiths and John Smiths, well, John's a very common name. The everyman is caught up in this quote. Additionally, the fact it's left with us, it highlights that the audience should have a social responsibility, and they are left, in part, because we should be looking after them. Priestley here uses Goole as his mouthpiece for his socialist agenda and is seeking that people should care more. Perhaps the most overriding feeling we get from Goole as a character is his investment in hope for the future, unlike the older generation who believe things should stay as they are. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar?